Hey everybody, want to Wisdom here. It is 3:14 in the morning, early Friday morning. The good news is whatever I did with the Blast Zone and Dark Blast Zone video seems to have worked. So kind of gonna run with that here with Washbuckler and Dark Washbuckler. See what we can't do. That said, Washbuckler, he of course in this instance is from the Wii U starter pack. Obviously, Dark Washbuckler from the Wii U Dark Edition starter pack. I have to say, compared to Blast Zone, which again I haven't really heard anybody too amped up on, which I kind of think is odd from the little I've played with him. He's been quite the beast. Washbuckler, though, have had a few people say he's his favorite character. Makes sense. He's kind of face of the franchise, if you will, sort of assume the position of T-Rex. If that kind of makes any sense. That said, we're going to go in here. I think I may have done this in part 2, which I haven't edited. I was just kind of like exploring, this little area here and miscellaneous junk like that. But we're going to go ahead for good measure, do the introduction, do the same thing for Dark Washbuckler, even though it's roughly the same. Let's go ahead, his backstory on Washbuckler. First off, slogan, 8 legs and no pegs. Backstory, Washbuckler was an orphan mermasquid, that's right, mermasquid, who grew up on one of the roughest pirate ships in Skylanders. Of course, if you're a mermasquid, you're on a pirate ship, probably not going to turn out too good. While most pirates were interested in pillaging and plundering like good pirates do, Washbuckler had other ideas for the future of pirating. Over the years, he earned respect of his crew and eventually convinced his fellow pirates that they didn't need to be cantankerous bad guys. Thus, they set forward doing heroic deeds. Of course, this new good guy image did not set well with other pirating crews who attempted to sabotage Washbuckler at every turn. But he was no ordinary pirate, and he defended his ship and crew against the many attacking hordes. It was then Master Eon took notice of Washbuckler and asked him to join the Skylanders. So, that is his backstory. Let's go ahead back out here and give it some action for you. You kind of see him jumping around from Central Plaza to the yard. We're going to beat on these, and those two guys are going to tell us we can beat on them because they're enchanted. His primary attack is going to be the Sword Slash, I believe is what it's called, actually. There we go, right on cue.
They're enchanted to be indestructible.
Alright, anyway. 34. I don't know if that was a 51 or... This attack, compared to Blast Zone, yeah, it was a 51, I think. It's not exactly the quickest attack, but for a primary attack, it does deal... 34 is nothing to sneeze at, so can't complain too much. His primary attack on the bottom end is what's called Somersaulty. We'll go ahead and check that out here. I think that was a 50, 35, 25 there. You can actually, we'll come back, you can hold it, and it'll sort of slap them ahead of time. That looked like 60 to me. Was that 90? It's kind of hard to see these numbers. That's pretty impressive. I'm just holding down the A button right now. I'm going to release it. And you see what he does. I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. It's sort of like I guess kind of like a beginning combo move, if you will. Jumping around, this is what he looks like. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. You see those elemental flowers there. He does have another upgrade because we've upgraded him. Maybe that's what I did in part 2 that we actually took a look at. That would be the X button. It says bubble gun. 25 there, you can actually trap enemies in that and everything. It's kind of cool. There's a sheep in one, of course. I was trying to sword slash him, actually. His stats are skewed a bit because he is, level 2, so nothing too crazy, but it is increased. Speaking of that, let's just go ahead and do that. Kinda all I can showcase to you there. We're gonna come in here, we'll go to Skylander, we're gonna go to stats. Max health 297, don't hold me to this, I believe he began at 270 if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know how I remember that. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's where he began. Speed 43, Armor 24, critical hit 8. That's actually a little higher than some. Elemental power 25. Again, we kind of need to bring in some, more water element Skylanders. So we'll go ahead and back out of here. We're going to come into upgrades. Again, since he is Swap Force, you've got the top and the bottom. We'll begin at the top. Base attack that I showcased to you. This is Sword Slash. Press Y to swing a bubbly cutlass at nearby enemies. Next attack, and we do have this, I showcased it to you, it's the Bubble Blaster. Press X to shoot a bubble that will trap an enemy for a short time. Next purchased upgrade is called the Blade Sail. Sword attacks do increased damage. Hold Y to charge the sword. Release to perform a dash attack. So igniter, chop-ish, things of that nature. That helps anyone out. Dangerous Waters. Press X to shoot a piranha-filled bubble at an enemy. Warning, these little fish are angry. So if you're a fan of the plain bubble, you probably don't want to explore that or take the bottom path over here. That said, his top path, in relation to his top end, I know that does get a little confusing. Cutlass Captain. It begins with Parley Pooper. Popping bubbles with sword attacks will create a bubble shield that reduces damage and explodes when attacked. That one is finished up with First Mate Cutlass. Sword attacks do even more damage. Again, I love numbers. The most trusty First Mate a pirate could have. If you're not a big fan of the sword, or you want to actually go the route and kind of upgrade the bubble gun and the piranha, you would be taking the Bubble Buccaneer path, fittingly. It begins with Marooned. Bubble attacks do increased damage. Hold X to charge the Bubble Blaster, and release to shoot 2 Mega Bubbles that can trap many enemies. So press X, you're going to have your standard effect. If you hold it and then release, you're going to have 2. It can apparently pick up multiple enemies, so should be interesting there. Next up there is Captain of Piranha Bay. Piranhas do increased damage, more dangerous than the average piranha. Soul Gem. This is unique because, of course, being Swap Force, you have a Soul Gem not for the character, but for the character's top and the character's bottom. Double your pleasure, double your fun. That's the power of Swap Force gun. On Stormy Seas is what the top half is called. Hold Y to charge Blade Sail even further. That's going to be, again, his little kind of combo dash attack thing. Release to summon a watery pirate ship that rams into enemies. Again, closest thing you can relate to that is going to be like Chill's Call of the Narwhal, her Soul Gem. Okay, well, I don't have to analyze things because thanks to Dark Washbuckler being present in the collection, I can actually take one upgrade path on the top end and bottom end with Washbuckler, take the opposite with Dark Washbuckler, get a feel for both. Then, like I said, that kind of helps everyone out. So I'm going to pack out here, go to the bottom end now. Upgrades. Somersaulty. Don't need to buy that because it comes standard. Press A to dash forward and roll over enemies with powerful tentacles. That attack was pretty dadgum impressive, I have to say. Wait. Octolash. Hold A to slap enemies with 2. Okay, that's what that is. I didn't remember Washbuckler being able to stand still and slap enemies around, for 60. And the reason for that is I didn't remember that in addition to the bubble gun, we also bought Octolash. So, if I didn't have that, you would essentially see Washbuckler do like that 50, 35, 25 while rolling, which is somersaulty. But since we purchased Octolash, he can actually kind of stay put when I hold down the A button like I did and just unleash the fury. So, kind of a neat little feature there. Deep Skin. Health is increased. All of the deep sea treasure hunts have really paid off. Last purchased upgrade for the bottom half, Inkjet. Octolash now shoots ink that damages and temporarily causes enemies to have difficulty seeing. So that one will be pretty interesting. Then you get to a point you have to pick a path. The top one here on the bottom is going to be called Tentacoolest Path. Begins with Tentacleaver. Hold A to slap enemies repeatedly. So I'm assuming that kind of just speeds it up. It was really pronouncedly slow when we showcased it there at the yard. I'm assuming we would increase the pace there. Sea legs is next. Tentacles do increased damage, whip those enemies into shape, and I now have Devo stuck in my head. If you don't know the song, don't look it up, you will thank me. Ink Trail. Press A to leave a cloud of ink. This ties in with the, I think, Ink Artist, I believe is the name. If not, it's something along those lines for this path. That's kind of seeming interesting. I'm trying to debate which character I'll let take which path. And then, of course, this will never come out again. I appreciate the little craftiness in some of the names on these. Ink attacks do increase damage, but that's not all. We have the Soul Gem on the bottom end. It is Tentacle Carousel. It can be found in Twisty Tunnels. Forgot to reference that earlier. Press A to rapidly perform a spin attack that damages all nearby enemies. That sounds pretty promising given the fact that he does, you know, essentially 50, 35, 25 with Somersaulty, and then Octolash was dealing like 60. So I, for one, am excited to kind of see how that pans out. That is pretty much it. I guess we'll take a look at his quest. Bad Guy Basher, defeat 1,000 enemies. Fruit Frontiersman, eat 15 pieces of fruit. Flawless Challenger, complete a non-story mode level with full health. Again, I'll investigate that. I'm thinking it's like bonus missions, or who knows, it could be swap zone challenges outside of the level. Next up, True Gladiator, win 10 PvP matches. Totally maxed out. I am a big fan of this one because it actually does encourage you to fully upgrade all the characters, and then of course, hopefully something you do makes you like them, and then you can go for, you know, level 20. Elementalist, this one really, I don't think this one should be like water or fire or earth specific. I just feel like it should be standard fair trophy, because it's the same for everyone. It costs 7,500 elemental bonus damage. Extinguisher, if you recall with Blasson, he had to defeat 25 ice golems. Now with Washbuckler, he actually has to defeat 25 fire golems. So keep that in mind anytime you come across those enemies, even if it's like a tech area, worth your while to switch over, kind of work on some of these quests and accolades. Next up, I like the name of this one, Aficionado. Catch 25 fish with the fishing rod. No clue what that is. I'm assuming that we'll find that out later in the game, mini game, bonus mission, I don't know. His primary quest, I say that because it's like, this is specific to Washbuckler. Sleep with the fishes. Defeat 50 enemies with the fish in your bubbles. That, of course, would be the piranha. So you just need to get that base attack, and then you can start working on that one. Shouldn't be too difficult, I wouldn't think. Obviously, if you take Bubble Buccaneer, it's probably going to be easier to do. But even the base 3, I guess, like Dangerous Waters, you know, you're probably eventually going to complete it if you just use that instead of like the tentacles or the sword. So, that is it, though. I mean, there's really nothing more I can do at this point in time for you. The good news is this will be short. If you're curious about Dark Washbuckler, he's coming right up. It will essentially be this exact same video with a different character on the portal, so stay tuned for that. But again, my logic there, I know some of you are going to be, you'll know everything Washbuckler, and you'll just be curious what the base stats were on Dark Washbuckler, if anything was different, yada yada. So I'll go ahead, you know, for good measure, we'll do that. And then later on, you know, the real payoff will be when we get to take them down their upgrade pass, and Dark Washbuckler is present to go ahead and go down the other one. If you missed out on Dark Washbuckler, I think the 360 and Wii are pretty much your only options for the Dark Edition starter pack. Those are probably going to be gone before Christmas. I have asked my local GameStop. They have said no, they're not coming back. Who knows if that's true or not, but would be worth your while to pick one. I mean, even if you get the Wii version and you hate Nintendo, or you don't like Wii, or you have Wii U, or whatever your logic is, you'd really be getting it for the characters, and then you can sell the portal in the game. I mean, even for $30 or something, you know, make someone's day. But I said from the beginning, you know, I thought it was a good deal because of the special exclusive characters. And, you know, now, if people didn't pick it up, you got issues, and you probably have characters you want. But My nose is starting to plug up. It is frigid in my bedroom here, so I'm gonna try to, I don't know, just like put more socks on or something. I don't really know what to do. But that said, this was Washbuckler. Again, I've heard good things about him. So far, I've enjoyed him. Doesn't really, if I just had to gravitate to characters, he might not be my first choice, but I'll give him a chance to upgrade here, kind of see what he can't do. But like I said, I will be back for Dark Washbuckler. We'll kind of go through the motions with him, see how that pans out. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the blog. I'll have more information than you know what to do with there. oneofweezem.com. If you're subscribed, you'll stay up with all the latest, any new uploads, everything like that. But like I said, thanks for watching. We'll be back for Dark Washbuckler, and we will see you there.